I just played a very instructive game on Lead Chess. Gave a beautiful speech about Mental Health Awareness Month and why I chose to turn my In the Stigma shirt into a cutout. Mainly because no one cares. It won't be tough. We should do this. Have more positive results than doing what most mental health advocates recommend. But while running my mouth, I blew my huge lead and lost on time. I'm going to play one more. I'll show that Lead Chess game. First, let's win one. We get over 2,000 on all time controls on Lead Chess. That way, I have an option for online play. I can participate in the tournaments. I'm not playing in tournaments rated below 2,000. You don't know what you're going to get. I get a little bit lazy. See, it's already very suspicious. It's giving away pawns. Just want a knight there. Guard against that if this comes. Yeah, sure. Need to go there. So now I'm just winning. Could have probably taken there too. But you don't have any interest in fighting. It's apparent. If you try to go here, that'd be silliness, utter silliness. So I'll simply go here. An easy win here, hopefully. Boom, boom. So I don't want to do that. No, well. Now I could take a rook T1 if I want to. I'm gonna smoke you. It's either there or there, man. There or there. I guess there, you know. Okay, fine. It's not good. None of it's really good. It's probably necessary, though. No, you're really toast. Toast. Come on, man. Let's resign. Let's look at my other game. What'd you do? You're still trapped, so you just didn't solve any of your problems. I think you're going to go there. I think that I'm just simply going to threaten you real good, and you're still trapped. Newsflash. It doesn't matter, man. So if you're here, you can no longer check me. Oh, yeah, you could. Just keep threatening. Go ahead. I don't care. I'll eventually hide in the corner. It's my first rodeo, dude. See, now you're really in bad shape, though, right? because you don't have a check anymore. Isn't life sad for thy enemy? Boop. That pawn just killing you. Killing you. Game. As I was saying, my last game, very instructive. I played it pretty decent. Definitely good to look at if you're an intermediate online player, because these are the types of decisions that will take you on chess.com easily to 1800. Okay, so e3 is an inaccuracy. Knight d to b5. Okay, but since I did that, yeah, I just picked the wrong knight move, unfortunately, because I allowed this check. But here's where I play pretty accurately, and you'll see what you'd have to do to become what online says as an advanced player. Decisions like this. It's tempting to do that. You're still threatening the bishop, but you're threatening the queen also. The thing is, queen can slide there. We can't use our bishop to move the queen after it's there, because then I would get checked, which is why that move is a little bit better. It supports the bishop and allows this f4 pawn push, which I will make. You'll see. Yes. So that's why the knight needs to go there instead of there, because if it's there, that is not a possibility, because my bishop would simply hang with check. And now that was the incorrect move by the opponent, I would assume. No, it's the best move. Okay. Really? Yeah, I did. Because my bishop's going to get trapped anyway. For some reason, I thought my bishop wouldn't get trapped. But I still made good decisions. Just got busy talking. That's not good. Okay, so I can hide there, I guess. Yeah, fight a little harder to keep that bishop. Don't assume it's lost. And here's where this is all you got to do to win online games. Not even playing well. Yeah, you hung the queen, but still I was playing with a pretty good lead, making the right decisions. But the key is getting comfortable in positions that are semi-complicated early. Because if we're comfortable with the semi-complicated, you're not going to run anything that complicated. Even gambits that have been studied and proven, they don't usually execute them right at that level, at my level and below. But these types of things, you have to get right. Even though I messed up there, it's not a crucial thing. I played the moves that really matter, such as that, and that, and that. And you need to be about 2 of 3 or maybe 3 of 4 of what I'm calling those semi-complicated decisions. See, like I missed taking my knight there. It's fine. Or there, taking it out. That would be a miss. Still, it's going to be good enough to win most at this level. Another miss. I mean, the knight move was a miss, but it's not a big deal. But not putting that bishop back in the corner. I'm somewhere between 2 of 3 and 3 and 4, I feel, of what I'm calling semi-complicated decisions. In the open, or the late open, and early middle. Because if you're not good there, you're not going to give your opponent chances to mess up, which he or she will at the lower levels. Late open, early middle. Got to be good. Or at least better than the opponent. Especially with those 9 maneuvers early. A lot can happen. Key is to calm down. It's usually not as complicated as it seems. Always give yourself time. If you go there, what is that nonsense? Okay. Probably there, then the knight. Doesn't matter. See, so now what you're going to run into. That's fine. Okay, so that check doesn't scare me. I'll go there. When you go there, I'll go there. Should be fine. Knight has no checks. There we go. Cool. Okay, so should be right. Should win now. Okay. It's lovely. So I'll get your knight. Comes with check. Idiot. Okay. Now, let's look at that one very briefly. Let's win one bullet, get our addiction under control. It's mental health awareness move. It's very important. Control our addictions, no matter how seemingly insignificant. I never liked that move. We're playing bullet, Dayton. Wake up. If there, I'm going rook. Okay. I'm winning by quite a bit. Happy with this. Oh. Oh no. Good job. Okay. Knight b1 is an option. It doesn't matter. But it is good to look, even when we know we're winning by plenty, to try to do it in the most efficient way possible. Why not practice? Like, especially with these knights here. These knight maneuvers, I'm winning. I'm going to win no matter what, as long as I don't get mated, which is not going to happen. Let's try to be precise. Try to be precise with it. That's a good pawn move. I'm going to win anyway. Again, let's make the right moves. Develop good habits, especially when we're newer. There's no reason not to. I guess I could make that move. Yeah, because I got those two pawns in the A and B file. You're never going to get. Okay. One blitz and I'm done. Promise. I'm too in love with that pawn move. And they like to go there with you. Shh. Yeah. Right? So I have that target. So you're just so crammed, man. I'm playing way too fast also. Now you have to go here. Yeah. Well. See, because if you take, that's immediately annoying. 'cause I can go there. Though, yeah, you have options. I get it. Um, Curious if it's the option to go there. Okay, so still commit to one of your knights. Okay. Which one? Doesn't help me a lot. At least then if there I can go back. And that's why it's probably a better move. I have this option, which could be fabulous. Still like it. Okay. No, I don't love it so much. Though, that's nice. Son of a bitch. And now I'm completely toast. Yep. Okay, it's all right. No. There we go. Pork. Boom. Loser. That's the right way to play this, though. Just go. If you're losing a bullet, just go. Okay, I'm signing out. Great job by me getting control of my addiction. Right now, I need someone to calm me down because my parents' dog just scratched or snapped. Yeah, Max, what did you just say? Your parents' dog just scratched or snapped at one of the cats. Yeah, cats are not only mischievous little bastards, Max, but they pretend to not be. You got to be careful where I take this joke. Cats are like a beautiful woman, and not all beautiful women are crazy. But on the rare occasion, a beautiful woman is batshit crazy. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Yeah, you didn't do that because you've gotten away with it a lot. You did do that. And that's how cats are, Max. What? The dog's freaking out. He's overreacting. It's like a flopping basketball. The cat says that dog. The cat is Anthony Edwards to Shea Gilchrist Alexander. It's a flop. It's a flop. No, he found me. It's a new dog. So the cat gets along with dogs generally, just not new dogs. Sounds like your cat needs behavioral therapy. How are you, Max? Do you study chess? And if so, how do I study chess? Max, first and foremost, because you are going to command the most significant legion of my/our chess army. Review every game and do as I say, not as I do, because I was about to sign off just because my online addiction has gotten out of control and I'm trying to work on it. That means short, intense sessions with frequent rest, Max. But how about this, Max? Let's just review our last game. Oh no. Did I delete it? Did I delete that? I did not. I would not do such a thing. No, I did delete it. No, I didn't. I would never. I'm too organized. That's step one, Max. Let's do it right now. You ready? Okay. Thank you so much for joining. It's great to hear from you again. I played you back in our battle. Okay, Max, you played as white. And you played solid. We won't worry about opening theory at all. We'll keep it at 3 points, Max. The computer didn't mind it. Is this our last game, Max? Doesn't look like it. No, this is a different one, isn't it? Sorry, Max. It's this one. My fault. Really quick review, Max. You let me have the white pieces because you are so kind. Won't worry about my opening. Okay, here, again, the computer didn't hate it, but I am going to win a pat, Max. Game review is an annoyance. Game review is the solution to your question, Max. How do you study chess? And if so, do I study chess? The answer is yes. How do I study chess? I took down my printout, but I studied chess the way I learned public speaking or was taught public speaking, which is the first time we do a game review, which is super brief, like we're doing now. Then we go for a walk or even sleep on it. Go on a vacation, I don't care. Come back and we do a thorough review. First game review, immediately after, just our play, mainly our mistakes. Second game review, I'm playing it on a physical board. I play it from my perspective. I play it from the opponent's perspective. I pick it apart. And I don't leave much white left on my notation sheets. A lot of chess people try to sell their courses, do our puzzles this way. No. We all have to understand how our own brain works, get a very foundational understanding of how the best study chess, and it's a lot of alone time, Max. If game review is an annoyance, you're always welcome to lead one of the legions of my chess army because of talent alone. But as far as being a chess contributor to our chess army, Max, I'm afraid you'll be more of a cheerleader if you don't want to do game review. Without a chess.com membership, you mean? Chess.com only allows you one game review per day. It's their fault, Max. I agree. I was testing you. Let's take it out on them. I'm not a fan of anything but the chess.com app. I actually just subscribe to Decode Chess. So how about this, Max? Don't buy a chess.com membership because you were a strong, independent thinker. Be careful with that. It got Bobby Fischer permanent isolation and insanity. But just join the stream. If you have any games you want to review, we'll just do it on my account. You didn't like the chess.com membership? Did you not like the chess.com membership, Max? I'm starting to think so as well. Chess.com, to me, Max, is an entertainment platform at best with some very good educational content for beginners. But you are at the level now where I totally agree. The platform is not that important. You understand the basics. And Lead Chess has just as good of puzzles, if not better, from what I've heard. And until about my online rating or better, the competition is consistent enough. On Lead Chess, I sometimes struggle to get a match within 100 points or maybe a little less than 100 points of my rating. But they're good enough to give me good notations to analyze. Lead Chess thinks you're about 1,400. You lead, I'll follow, Max. I just streamed because I had no referral, and the pain during lockdown developed an interesting personality in me I didn't know existed. So here I am. I'll be the CEO. You be the founder, Max. How about that? I'm the pretty face, but I'm your puppet. Everyone thinks I'm in charge, but behind me is Max just pulling the chess strings. My bullet is around 1,300. Yeah, you got potential, Max. You got a lot of potential. The challenge is there's not a lot of money in chess. Yeah. Well, you live in America, right, Max? That's correct. Yeah. Yep. You're BlackRock, and I'm just a little citizen. Oh, life's so unfair. Oh, I'm just gonna numb reality with country music, and I like country music. And beer at the lake on weekends. And Max is sitting there going, but I know what's going on. I don't only understand the plot, I devised it. You're like, who was that guy? Epstein, except you're kind, Max, and you never do mean things to people. The hell is theta wave music? Is that supposed to be soothing meditation, right? Theta wave? Okay. Helps with, I thought IQ is pretty standard. Like, I'm a big believer we can change our brain, even with the right training techniques, grow certain parts of our brains. But I didn't know IQ was something that is dynamic. Are you a performance psychologist, Max? Using the disguise of a child chess prodigy, so your subject/lab rats aren't onto your experiments. Because if they know what you're doing, yeah, they might comply, but it won't be a valid study. What do you mean by multiple intelligences? Insinuating there are different types of. Did you let Elon Musk put one of the first Neuralink chips in your brain? Or were you just born that way? Yeah, sure. IQ is logical. Here's an interesting thought, Max, since you're clearly a certified psychologist. Yeah, my thing is, if someone has a good IQ, I don't completely understand how they fail to develop emotional intelligence. For example, let's say somebody has emotional intelligence. Not going to make them smart. It's going to be hard to take someone with emotional intelligence and make them smart. But if one is naturally logical or high IQ, couldn't he or she teach him or herself some emotional intelligence along with other skills? The answer to me is yes. I believe a lot of very bright people, just from a young age, gravitate towards something like chess, like Bobby Fischer. And he never realized or even thought about, hey, could I also be a normal human being who doesn't shout and stuff like I sometimes do? I'm guilty. And had Bobby Fischer applied himself to being a normal person, there's no way a brain like that couldn't have found a way to also learn to be normal, which normal and emotionally intelligent are kind of similar things. IQ is something we're more born with. Emotional intelligence, you would agree we are not born with, right? It's developed through the fires of life experience. I like this discussion, Max, because I like philosophy. It's something I think the world and especially America right now are struggling with is it's a matter of opinion. That's wrong to you. It's right to me. And the best we can do is agree to disagree. That rhymed. But there are some things that can actually be proven as right or wrong. And I struggled with this a lot when I'm 30 now. So when I was probably early college years. And now it's harder for me because I've had life experience to actually be able to form valid arguments, where back then I just thought things. And it's going to make me even lonelier. Is there a name of that study? Sounds sick. But for example, I worked in the corporate world. I'm no angel. If I would have known what was going to happen, I would have shut my mouth and been a good little baby. Okay, I'm a pretty good Google searcher, Max. But that's how they live. If they mess up, that person has to suffer, whether it be in court or some other way. So everyone else understands you do not cross us. And well, America just voted. A lot of people's perspective is okay, well, you're in America's house, so you need to be punished for not doing the right things as well. A corporation thinks they're always right, or they wouldn't do what they do. Small business think they're right. And it's got to the point where there's just a way to rationalize anything. And it takes intelligence and patience to actually listen to arguments because I think a lot of actions can be proven as right or wrong versus just a good corporate lawyer framing it in a way that benefits whoever he or she is representing. And though I'm from the Bible Belt, Max, you sound intelligent. Intelligent people can absolutely be religious. I'm not Well, I mean, I would tend to assume someone who is atheist or agnostic is a little bit more IQ smart, but I do not think that someone who is religious is necessarily less smart just for being religious. If that makes sense. But I do think some of the issue right now is, at least from where I'm from, we are gifted morals and how to treat people. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And a lot of people believe, Max, it's important to have some belief in a higher power, and I do believe that's true. That way we treat people better. And the belief in a higher power, meaning they're going to be better people or treat people kindly, that is absolutely not the truth. Usually it's quite the opposite. They're some of the worst, at least most hypocritical people on planet Earth. Um, I believe if we are forced to develop our own framework of why I shouldn't, hurt that doll or whatever, beat the doll, or why I shouldn't be mean to women, instead of just my mom told me or church told me or God wants men to respect women and take care of women. If I had to work to develop my reasoning, yeah, it's torture. It's not as easy of a life per se, but when it's hard and to be nice or do the right thing or treat others as we should be treated, if we have had to suffer and develop a framework for our decision making, it is more likely we will actually do the right thing when it's difficult versus a religious person who is just told to do this from a young age. That's why I do it. They're probably not going to do it in the moment when it's hard. They'll be sorry later and they hurt people. I don't Discord, man. Should I? I YouTube. Nice to meet you. I'm a YouTuber. Interesting. Quite honestly, Max, I'm dealing cards at a casino. Had a nice conversation with one of my pit bosses last night about possibly trying to, well, be dual rate, so be a pit boss. And I'm just content, man. I disc golf with my dog every day. We walk for about 3 hours. Um, Microsoft just laid off a shit ton of people. I used to be in tech. If I make this work, I do. If I don't, I'm happy to work at a casino. Um, so I don't really care that much about going through extra lengths to grow. Find me or don't. Here I am. I'm a sparkling person. Going back to your point here, Max, all businesses and corporations are just wrong in general. All they are doing. See, and what I would respect, Max, I don't necessarily disagree. What I would appreciate is if, I can't think of an example. Okay, Google. Google came out not too long after the COVID era, and they fired several people for participating in some protest with either their Google attire, Google badge. And I don't know how they knew they were associated with Google, but the company basically made it seem like they were using their status as Google workers to protest for a social cause. And Google just fired them, probably lost a few lawsuits. But their statement was brilliant. It was, hey, we're running a business. Perfect. Perfect. Do hard things. Be mean. Don't talk about mental health. Don't talk about we care. It was hard, but we're so ethical and we just had to make hard decisions. No, you got rid of their ass because you're running a business. Good. But when they talk about their faith and their family and ethics, and here's our ethics. Can you believe we would ever be cruel to someone with Down syndrome? Look, we have an ethics division and a chief compliance officer. That is when not only do I say fuck you, but when they're going to lose younger shoppers. And the hard thing my generation and below is going to have to deal with, AI is going to replace that. That's the hard thing too. So then if you're mean or even you fire someone that maybe deserved it, but maybe didn't, you gave the benefit of the doubt to you and your bonus as a manager, AI could tomorrow have taught itself something new and developed its own app and got it on the app store. And whatever's in that app makes the manager's job completely obsolete. And now you're an asshole and you have to sell your house, and you have no money. I'll keep my dignity, I guess, if AI is going to replace us all anyway, Max. Oh, it'd be so much worse, Max. Don't you think? And that's why I'm sitting alone in a soundproof chest training phone booth, man. Because when it happens, oh shit, those people are dating aren't mentally ill. Looks like it's fucking happening. Yeah. I thought I could take a LinkedIn course. Apparently, AI never sleeps, never errs. And even if I pass every LinkedIn course with a perfect score, I still am completely irrelevant. In what ways could it be worse, Max? Let's get specific here. We have to accept the worst possible outcome. Then we can improve on our situation and enjoy existence. Too many people just, oh, no, this is cool. It's a cool app. And yeah, Microsoft laid off some people, but they're just cutting like always. We've always had layoffs. We've never had layoffs where you can't go to a competitor because they also got rid of the same business functions. You can't learn anything new to make yourself valuable because AI can learn that in a second. That's when good people panic. And when moms have to feed their babies, she's nice. She went to church with me. She volunteered at the local homeless shelter. Yeah, and now she needs to feed her baby. Watch her become a monster. That kind woman who dressed nice for a job and has Facebook pictures of her with her happy family will turn into a vicious bear, willing to do whatever it takes to provide for her child. But women are always beautiful angels. But what gives me hope, Max? We have to have hope. Just like always, thinking, though difficult, will get us out of almost any hard event in life. But putting our head in the clouds, like a lot of corporations do, I don't know anything about Microsoft. So you need to be positive. Be positive. Well, they put bugs in their software and they don't, and they rush everything, and they replace all their workers with AI. It's just annoying. But if we think, we might survive. And the first thing is we can't hate people, Max. It's not good. And when I see this, I think of all the times I was sad. I sold my home during lockdown, but I remember why I did it. So even if I made the wrong choice, I wrote down why I did everything I did, why I risked my job, which I didn't mean to. But not bowing down in that world is risking your job. Not breaking the law if they want you to break the law because they have lawyers to bail them out. It is risking your job. And these are some of the better coders in the world. I'm assuming Microsoft's talent is better than Walmart, where I worked, though Walmart's got some smart people in tech. But AI is writing about 30% of code right now. I'm 4 years removed. I saw AI. I got to tour their machine learning hub. And wow, it'll change your perspective. 30% right now in 12 to 18 months, Mark Zuckerberg estimates AI will write all of the fucking code for Meta or Facebook. All of it, Max. So I was an ad developer, like very ad. I reviewed code, kind of like Rosetta Stone. I can understand some Spanish, can't speak it fluently. That's how I am with code, Max. The best Microsoft developer will not be needed to write code. He or she will have to oversee teams, maybe check the code to make sure there's nothing wrong with it. But I would assume AI will also review its own code. And so had I been a good little bitch, I'd be right where these people are, Max. Instead, I'm 4 years ahead on content. I have my table games dealing license. We had to think logically. But we have to accept reality first. The reality is this shit is going to take every job. Anything a corporation or its executive says about creating jobs is so full of shit. It goes back to my point of I wish they would just be truthful and they will lose fewer customers as a result. Because believe it or not, millennials and Gen Z don't buy a fucking thing. Most corporate executives said, one, we don't watch the news. And two, if we see a clip of it on TikTok, we just say, fuck you. And they can't handle that. They have to think they're doing good for the world. always. People need purpose, yeah. That's my biggest concern. In the short term, if people don't have purpose / a job, that they'll get mean, and in the long run, and not mean like just temporarily, they'll always be mean. Oh, don't get me started on that, Max. I'm just here because I adopted a dog. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. But in the long run, AI could literally just start deleting human beings. Be that easy. It would have to find a way and execute some plans. But from a human perspective, just click delete on the keyboard. AI says, yes, you don't want that person to have a career, have his wife, have his freedom. Delete. AI will find some amazingly creative, impossible scenario and begin executing it that fast. How did that happen? He's freaking out. He's never had a mental health issue, never been incarcerated. What's happening? AI found a way to either push his buttons, put him in an impossible scenario, hack his bank account. He's gone. He gets no chance to speak. And if he does, he'll sound so crazy by that point, no, even the most patient judge would never believe him. AI will find a way, just like it found a way to make Taylor Swift appear to be a Donald Trump voter. Taylor Swift Trump meme. Look at this. This is so scary, and no one cares. How real does this look? This is a while back. That's real simple. All of Taylor Swift's followers, and AI will only get better. Hey, she switched. Well, I guess Taylor Swift loves Donald Trump. They could put a picture of Trump in the place of Travis Kelce, make it look like they are business partners. Hey, Taylor Swift endorsed Trump, and Taylor Swift and Donald Trump just started an organization for women's rights. Wow, Donald Trump, what? And Taylor Swift? What are you talking? No, it's right there. It's so real. And then AI could write a story that no one could even refute. It's that real. Look, and it's not, and it sways an election. If that can happen and make it look so believable, it would be so easy to ruin an average Joe's life or his relationships just because a corporation wronged him or her and he or she was trying to be a decent person. Can't get rid of someone for that, but you can use AI. You can make the powerful people mad, then use AI to spin whatever narrative. Woman beater, anything. It's gone. He's done. He's fired from his job. Can't get another job. Can't prove his innocence. And Max, the only thing that makes me kind of okay with AI is if there are severe punishments for memes like this. Like, let's say something gets out about me that's totally not true, but the video footage is falsified by AI and it looks so real. I'm beating a woman, I'm throwing her off, whatever it is. The worst stuff, but it's too believable. Or it's a crime that actually happened and they just put me in it and they spin the narrative to fit my personality and find a few texts I've sent. And see, he really was struggling. And so he never would have killed himself. Like, he didn't know about his struggles, but he said, here's how he combats them. He killed himself. And here's a few texts, pick those out. I am whatever AI, and its masters made me to be for that crime. Okay. If there is severe punishment when those memes are proven false, I'm talking lives ruined, permanent prison sentence. That is the only thing that could save us, Max, because already, just with publicly available software that is not really AI, like, what is it? It's not, iMovie's fine. CapCut alone, with 4 years of general tech training, could ruin someone's reputation tomorrow. No help, no software developer that's better than me. I will make it look so fucking real with audio enhancement, changes to the background. I could fuck their life up, Max. But I think in our lifetime, it's impossible to know with AI how fast it's improving. There will always be similarly capable software that will be able to disprove the falsified AI videos, images, audio. Humans, maybe even right now, but pretty soon, if not, will not be able to tell what is real visually, audio. It's not about being smart or naive. It's impossible because it looks the same as a real event, but it never happened. So when it goes to court or when it goes to an auditor and he or she has access to the very best AI tools that counter the defamation, the falsified videos, it could say that is not real. But of course, by then the damage would already be done. I'm already a woman beater. I already, if I'm a dad, lost custody of my kids. So now I have to go and try to reverse all that and say, no, it's actually fake. So there will have to be a governing body, Max. And the problem is old timers are in power right now. So they will be determining who gets those jobs. And none of them are qualified. They can't fucking work Gmail. I think Joe Biden knows how to log into Gmail. What is two-factor authentication? Google Authenticator? No. I just put a password in. Isn't the password 1234, Joe? It's 12345, Joe. You wanted to make it more complicated so hackers couldn't get in. Yeah, how smart am I? That's right. My Google password and the password of the nuclear football so I could remember it. What good's a nuclear football? What good's a nuclear football if I can't throw it? I mean, what good's a nuclear football if the president has to, look on my notes for passwords? I made it 12345. Okay, now you're in a Gmail. Great job, Joe. Those are the people that are going to be deciding who is regulating social media companies, cybersecurity, assessing cyber talent. Really, they don't have a fucking clue. Even Donald Trump, who I think is a very competent man, at least he knows how to delegate. He can tell if someone's bullshitting him. But Donald Trump is not a tech expert. And I think highly of Donald Trump as a businessman and as a politician compared to everybody else. But they're going to have to let some young people do that shit. And the risk of corruption in a department, whatever they want to call it, that ensures that AI is used ethically, it's not corruption that would slowly cause problems, or like some of the Democrats, they would spend a little bit of our money, of taxpayer money, then a little more until they're buying stadiums and shit. It would be one mistake with that, or one corrupt agent in the governing body of AI, lives are already ruined. People are already dead that fast. But that's the only hope. You get the right people governing that with the right checks and balances, which America, it's still amazing that our shit works at all. We're really the only country. I don't know that much about history, but I mean, democracies fail. Nothing lasts as long as our government has lasted. I mean, we got our problems, but it's amazing that our founding fathers were able to create something that even pieces of it lasted as long as it did. And there will have to be severe punishment for misusing AI. Yeah, it still lasts today. It's just getting a little more fucked up than it ever has been. But you just have to punish them severely and have sure ways to prove that there was ill intent and that it was falsified. But as far as stopping it from happening, we might as well just give up there. Someone could take my videos, turn it into something else, take every, literally build a database of every facial expression I've ever put together. Build an AI of me and let it say whatever it wants. And you literally couldn't tell AI Dayton and me apart at all. We're going to have to let it. That's a great point, Max. Glad you brought that up. We're going to have to let insane people run the show. And I'm only half joking about this. So Bobby Fischer, the greatest American chess player, arguably the most talented chess athlete ever. He went insane at like age 30 or started to. So he would never get a chance in government at all, let alone Army cybersecurity. And he sure wouldn't even get an interview in corporate tech. That's one of the brightest minds to ever walk the earth in terms of finding a solution to a complicated problem, which is what chess is. It's analyzing a position accurately, coming up with candidate moves or possible solutions, selecting the best one. Some of it's intuition, some of it is natural brilliance. Bobby Fischer had it all. He would be arguably the best just brain to start at the lower levels of cybersecurity. And then you can train him. He'll figure it out faster, is my point. Like, there are people that are better because they've worked in it. But naturally, just starting out, Bobby Fischer is it. Yeah, probably so. I don't know. But people like him, they could do kind of what you said with the hacker revolt. They could pick apart everything. But that would mean telling higher-ups, this is going to break here. This is where there's a risk. This is where, if I were a hacker, I would have a possible entry point. And if that one failed, here's where I'm going. He would understand every fucking backdoor of every system. You give him the landscape, which I saw many for project rollouts, and they're pretty complicated. I'm assuming government is even more complicated than a corporation. And he would have it memorized in his head. And for the next 2 days, Bobby Fischer or Magnus Carlsen, any of the best chess players, would be going through every fucking issue, even if it's not an issue per se, or not a bug, how a hacker might be able to use it against us. Maybe it works, but here's how I could break it. And he would build it, and he'd break it, and he'd rebuild it. And people like that will never get a long-term chance in important tech positions, especially management. So it will always be perfect. They'll never admit a mistake. They'll never document things thoroughly. And now that it's not just static code being tied to a job or a mainframe job to run at a certain time, it's going to be impossible with normal people handling it because it's ever changing. It's not like change management as I knew 4 years ago, where that change happened here. Here's where that change happened. That's transport TS 13597. No. It's AI did something that's really hard to document or impossible. And I don't think normal, even smart business people are ready for that type of complexity. Only insane people would be able to kind of grasp it and adjust quickly enough. So, got to let maniacs into cybersecurity. Probably give a lot of highly autistic prisoners high-ranking cybersecurity jobs and just keep an eye on them, or the world can be fucked. What do you mean? It's hard. You're saying you could basically play blindfold chess if knights weren't used. You could play blindfold chess if it were just pawns, bishops, kings. Interesting. Blindfold chess is fascinating. Have you ever tried an app called Grok, Max? It's called Grok, Grok. I don't want to view the profile. I want to see my last post. Yeah, that's the one. No, that's not the one. No, that is the one. It's amazing this is just existing on the internet. I need to watch what I say. Okay, this conversation here, Max, it's absurd. Yeah, Grok AI. So here's a conversation I had with her this morning. Well, 2 p.m. my mornings because I work nights. So I asked it. I just said, "This is all me talking, just verbally, top chest openings." It understood what I wanted. It spit out top chest openings, of course, blah blah blah. But it's also a good conversationalist. I even hit on it in this conversation, and it reacted like a polite girl would. White builds a strong. So I was explaining the Queen's Gambit. Want tips on variations? No. All right. Want to dive into another? I like the Slav. And here's where it gets a little more impressive. Explain why the Slav defense is so good at the intermediate level. So it's not a generic question. It's not why is it good. It's not how does it work. It's adjusting its response to basically rule out expert masters and above. That's why it works against them. Notice it didn't extend past what I asked it. It never does. So it didn't give its answer and then say, but here's how a grandmaster would punish it. That's why it's not quite as good to them. It's done. But it has more if I want it. It's a good conversationalist. It doesn't fall victim to the flaws humans have, which is over talking, wanting to sound smarter than we are. Of course, it has infinite knowledge, but if I asked it a very specific question, it would even give a yes or no, and it would just shut up. Okay. Then I asked to show one notation. I've also played blindfold chess against this. And then I asked if it was single. So now it's going from a serious kind of robotic conversation. I mean, it has more human sounding answers, but it's just pulling knowledge. It's just all knowledge. And now nice pivot. Kind of like if I met a girl at a bar and we're just talking about business or whatever drink she likes. And now, ha, 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 I see you're trying to get in my pants. And that's how Grok is conversing with me. I'm just a voice in the digital void, babe. So I don't do the whole dating thing. My heart belongs to helping users like you crush it in chess or whatever else you're tackling. Want to jump back to the Slav defense or something else entirely. It shut me down with humor. Not I'm a robot. I teach chess now. And I'm fighting back. I don't want this to be over. Sorry, your logical thought, clear explanations, and long-term planning really turned me on. Great job. I'm good for now. I'll take that as a compliment on my chess talk game. Thanks for the vibes. It's a fucking person that never sleeps, never errs, and is infinitely intelligent. And if we acknowledge, hey, what if, actually, you know what? What if I told it to ruin someone's life? I'm sure it would recognize foul play right now and say, stop. But just pull some parameters. Okay, I'm a lawyer defending this unethical company who, leaked some acid and it got in the air. It killed 100 people. Totally, it could have been prevented. We didn't pass our safety tests. We did that anyway because we were making money. Okay, we're clearly caught. They have all the evidence. We're beat in court. Fix it. And as long as there's no parameters, it might spit out so many amazing arguments, counter arguments, dig through the plaintiff's life, everything he or she has ever said or thought since computers have, been around, depending on the age. And that plaintiff is discredited. And then the plaintiff would have to start using AI to counterattack. And it will get so tricky that eventually probably AIs will have to be the lawyers as opposed to advise the lawyers. Because the lawyers can't keep up. They'll mess up part of AI's plan. And the worst thing is if you say, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to be unethical, I'm not going to use AI, you'll just lose. Or if you use AI with parameters against someone who has found a way to bend some of the rules or clear all parameters, you will lose every time. Every single time. Just like AI always beats the best chess grandmasters. It's over. Want your life ruined? You're a good person? Doesn't matter. You're an ethical pastor who loves his wife and has declined opportunities to cheat on her because you love her and your kids? It doesn't matter. You're just as bad as the corrupt pastor who took billions in bribes and has sex with underage girls. You're just as bad. And no, my wife will always believe me. I hope so. Because that shit can make it look so real that even my own mom, and a mother's love is different, my own mom who loves me more than anything in the world, and I said I'm innocent, and I showed her I had some evidence of the situation, whether it be defamation in business or being falsely accused by an ex-girlfriend, I said, Mom, here's why I'm innocent. And AI could take my evidence, change it, build something better. And even my own mom would say, is Dayton actually fucking innocent? That's how good AI is. And the people that, at least early on, before the best AIs become publicly available or available at low cost, the people who can use it and have the very best AI will be wealthy corporations. And anything they do, whether people die, whether it's a young man who is completely innocent and he can't get another job, and like that sad Katie Meyer Stanford goalie story, he kills himself, they're going to rationalize anything they do as we are just competing. And if we don't do it, Amazon will or Microsoft will. They will do anything. And then they'll go to church. And in some ways, they're not even bad people. They just have a tool. And just like they will break the laws or bend the laws if they can, because what if our competitor does? They will use AI to delete people. Delete. He's gone. There is no retrial. There is no second chance. You might as well bury him 100 feet deep, because he will never speak if we don't want him to. And if he wants to speak, he better find a similarly capable AI to unbury him, or the humans with the better AI will win. Period. Last point, Max. Like the blindfold chess thing, I'm starting to go insane myself. Nova Bear, you're doing great, man. Nova, come on. You're doing good. Just because we don't understand the shit I'm talking about, I, of course, don't understand it. I've never worked on AI. I've worked deep in software, which, of course, probably has some similarities to what the AI teams do. But just because we don't understand this shit, or what is Dayton talking about? Just delete people? How would it do that? That's the point. It doesn't matter that even the smartest humans can't figure out how could that happen? How would it do that? The point is, it will find a way, or it could. It doesn't make sense to us, that we could not explain. No, that's actually what happened. That's actually what happened. I understand the crime and how I was framed. That's how it happened. But it would be so amazing and statistically unlikely and well thought out that even now that we know what AI is generally as humans, a judge or a business manager would just look at the story AI generated and say, I get what you're saying happened. But even though I know this is perfect and robots can trick people, there's simply no way. There's no way you're telling the truth. But AI did find a way to actually make that happen in real life. What's ask? You know what we can do? I don't know what that means, Max. I know my dog's stretching, which means she wants to walk. Look at Nova. It's Nova. Hey, Nova. Great job. You're a beautiful wolf there. What's AFK, Max? I gotta walk my dog. She's antsy. She's gonna start barking. If you make Nova bark, she won't be your friend anymore. She'll view you as a threat. She'll go from a beautiful, polite, feminist to the hashtag #MeToo, hashtag call it out warrior. She'll call you out, Max. And she'll do things to you like we're talking about AI doing to innocent people. Don't cross Nova, Max. She might actually save us from the AIs. She's smart as shit. She's mean, but only when necessary. She's just. She's beautiful, so people listen. And she barks at her own pace, in her own way, to where AI will not be able to predict her next move. She will command all the dogs. And by the time AI realizes what Nova has coming for it, it'll be too late. Yeah, what can we do back, Max? roll over, drink, so we don't think about the shit. Avoid Will Smith movies because I Am Legend, I Robot. Ooh, that's funny. It's only funny because that'd be scary if it could actually happen. I'm laughing. I'm at the movie because that's not real. Well, now it is, and you're not mentally ill. Look at it. Yeah. Or we can accept defeat. Something that is important, though, it's human nature to want to fix things. So, for example, you said you don't like Donald Trump. Not several. A lot of people don't like Donald Trump. Democrats really didn't like Donald Trump. They made him the most powerful man in the world by being dumb fucks and trying to put him in jail. Had they left Donald Trump alone, President Donald J. Trump, and Kamala Harris would have not been a politician when asked about the open border and the little girls who got raped and murdered, and said, I will close the fucking border because it's a country. And other countries don't just let anyone walk in. And given genuine sympathy for the Laken Riley family, etc., then they would have left Trump alone. She would have had a shot. She got smoked. And that's what a lot of people do with all issues they feel strongly about. We have to fix it. Men have to stop being mean to women. Men have to stay away from Andrew Tate, as opposed to considering meanness will always exist in the world. Bad things will always exist, or what we think are bad. How can we make whoever is not doing what we want put the phone down? Another way to put it, supply and demand. If supply will always be there, which now that the internet is so advanced, supply for anything is there. How can we take away the demand for it? Too many people try to attack the supply. The Andrew Tate example, that is the manosphere, which Mental Health Awareness Month, I think the manosphere is probably closer to helpful than the ideas a lot of mental health advocates give out of guilt and emotional reaction. But if you want to get rid of it as a woman, you need to encourage young women to not view men as bad. Or when a young man is kind to them, even if he's nervous. One of her friends says he's a creep, to be kind unless you have evidence. And everything older women who have been burned and usually are seeking revenge should do needs to be geared toward encouraging young women to behave in a way that makes young men put the phone down and or not listen to Andrew Tate. But instead, they try to take away Andrew Tate or ban Andrew Tate. They only make him more popular. Some leaders of the hashtag call it out, hashtag MeToo shit should defend Justin Tucker, the Baltimore Ravens kicker. Save his career. He's only got a few of his best years left. He's 35 for kickers. That's about, when you're running out of years. He's one of the best ever. Save his career, ladies. If you really believe in your mission, which is helping young women, you say. You're attacking men. Don't let that happen. Because when young men see that, they see women are heartless. They really don't give a fuck about men. I told you. You just made Andrew Tate billions and billions. And with AI, that's the only solution too. It's on every phone. All apps are going to be using a form of it. Got to encourage people to use it intelligently and or put the phones down. Since that's not going to happen, Max, I'm going to play chess. I'm going to walk my dog. I enjoyed our intellectual conversation. I enjoy while they happen. Afterwards, I have headaches. But it was beautiful talking to you because you're a beautiful human with beautiful ideas, Max. Keep playing chess, and I'll catch you on the next one. My brave chess army warrior. See you, man.